Hello, welcome to the Colourful Creativity podcast. My name is Caroline and this is episode 141. You can find me online everywhere as Kralaline, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Ravelry, the works. And I have a web shop, colourfulcreativity.nl or colourfulcreativity.com. It's been a hell of a week. I am recording later than I wanted, but still only a week later, so it's definitely been a hell of a week. But more about that later on. We're just gonna dive into my finished object because I'm way too eager to show you. First up, I finished my husband's penguin hat. The pattern is the Snocially Awesome Penguins by Maynulet, and I think I knit the largest size, maybe one size smaller, I'm not sure, but it was a great knit, and I used a special method to catch the floats because there are some really long ones in here, and this is called leatherback jacquard, which is absolutely amazing, and it keeps it really stretchy, so definitely a good fit. I knit this around the time Robert was getting his surgery, and I was like, if you're gonna have like a bald patch with a wound or something, you might want to put on a hat. Well, turned out it was a really tiny strip, and yeah, he didn't really need a hat because it was 20 degrees that week. 20 degrees in middle of October. So, summer temperatures, whatever. He hasn't used it yet, and that's fine. It'll find a time when it gets used. I used a really soft yarn. The main color is a skein of yarn I won. It is I think it was the Spoil base or something from Craftfulness. It is a cashmere base. I used a regular Regia for the almost black dark gray, and then a Colourful Soft Sock left over in the colorway Hey There for the snowflake motif. Yeah, it was a really enjoyable knit, and learning the leatherback jacquard definitely made a difference. I do not remember the needle size, but okay. It will be somewhere in the screen earlier because I always put it there. Yeah, I haven't blocked it yet. It could do with a good blocking because it does have some dents in there from pulling the floats. Who cares? I don't really care. I hardly ever bother to block my stuff, so you've heard it here. This one is done. It was one of my 12 cast-ons from earlier in the year, so another one of those done. And another project that's done is my slice of light. It's really big, so I'll have to go from left to right. Where is it? There. Come on. Oh, there. So. Huge ass shawl, and again, it hasn't been blocked, and I haven't woven in the end yet because I'm just lazy and I had better things to do. The Slice of Light is a shawl pattern by Susanne Sommer, and it's really enjoyable. I used Colourful Creativity mohair. I have the tags here. Colourful Kidsilk in the colorway Gold Storm. I used Arauncania yarns Bottany lace in a number colorway. That is the other color you see here. This is more, yeah, the Kidsilk held double with the Bottany lace, and the last color, this gorgeous speckled one with purple and yellow, is a Spingodin and it is her MCN base, so merino cashmere nylon, and it is super soft and squishy. It's really nice. I really love how it turned out. I did one modification. I only did the I-cord bind off in the edge. I did not go all around because I found the self edge pretty enough, and I can block that little bit away, the little dent that's in there. Yeah, I'm not keeping this myself. I cannot wear mohair here. It itches like crazy when I do that. So apparently I am not keeping this one. My mom has already shown interest, and yeah. So that's done. Another whip finished. I finished all these last month. I finished a total of 6 whips last month. I did really good for my whip pile. I have not cast on anything new, so very proud of me. And yeah, I'm probably gonna re-knit this shawl because I really love it. But I'm gonna do it with a alpaca, Surrey alpaca silk blend, just to see if I can handle that better. Then I was going to show my mom how to knit 2-color brioche, because we were knitting that shawl together. Turned out it didn't work for my mom, and I finished another slice of light. I finished hers as well. I did the 2-color brioche section and the whole bind off, and in her case I did go all around that whole beast. It took me a day just doing I-cords. Seriously. My mom's yarn is all mine. It's all Colourful Creativity yarn. It is the Kidsilk in a pink. Let me see, this side you can see it the best probably. It's the knit stitches. Yeah, the light goes right through. It's really soft and airy. And I used 2 other colorways that never made it to the shop. It was a light gray with speckles in black, pink and purple, and it was a semi-solid pinkish on bases. I also never stock, so it was just something fun I dyed up for my mom. And yeah, so this beast is also finished. It also needs to be blocked, ends woven in and everything, but hey ho, I had better things to do. This one was finished Saturday, so this week. And I cannot even count it as my whip pile or my finished, because, well, it's not my whip pile. But hey, I finished the thing for my mom. And let me see. I have a cat fight I need to interrupt. Cat back into his bed with his sister. So hopefully the ruckus will stop now. And let me see, for whips I have been working on this week in my All About Yarn Exploding TARDIS bag. You saw that last week. I have a sock for my husband. Yes, I bit the bullet. I frogged the heel and added a bit more, and I re-knit the heel, and I'm already working on the leg because this was really nice Zoom knitting for last night's Zoom call with the Knit Tea Society. And yeah, it looks really good, right? I keep pondering if I am 1 stitch off for the toe and the heel, but then 1 stitch, whatever. The yarn I'm using is Fab Funky Fibres in the colorway Cloud Meadow. It is their self-striping sock yarn, and it is the same base as my smooth sock. Here you can see it caked up. It's 2, yeah, Sure, throw with it. It's gonna be such a day. 2 50-gram balls, and they should have been the same, and I was knitting them 2 at a time, and yeah, suddenly the stripes were not going at the same rate anymore, and there is like 1 row and it's getting more difference between them, between the colored stripes. So I was like, okay, then I will knit them 1 at a time. It's going faster, it makes it easier to take with me, and yeah, so they're still going to be for my husband. I am knitting these on, oh, I think it's the 2 mil, or is it the 2.25? Let me check. It is the 2.25 millimeter, and I am knitting them on the Xiaogu interchangeables, because I do not have enough 2.25 millimeter high sharps. So another whip, soft from Progress. Then one that you haven't seen for a while, I think, but it did see some good progress. In this bag is my Raindrops sweater. Let me find the pattern. It is by Tin Can Knits. Here you go, Raindrops. And here you can see how it looks. And here is mine. It now has a bound off body. I didn't do the end like the pattern suggested. The pattern suggested to just knit on, go to a smaller needle size and knit a few rounds so it rolls up a bit. I always have a lot of issues with rolling up, so I went for a regular 2x2 and a pretty standard bind off. I think I used 2 needle sizes bigger for the bind off and just did regular bind off. And I'm now knitting the sleeve. I am already a good 7 or 8 inches into the sleeve. I need to do 10 inches and then look at the pattern again. So I hope to make some good progress. And then there is the second sleeve. But this is hopefully gonna be finished this month, and I'll have a nice sweater. I am using Colourful Creativity Soft Sock, so my own soft sock base, my favorite. And this is the yarn I was talking about in the previous episode, I think, as well. The one of a kind colorway. There was a mismatched batch and I had a lot of it. And I kept it for myself because I really like it and it suits me very well. And I still have to recreate it. But, oh well. Someday, hopefully. I still have some bits left, which I probably gonna need for the sleeves. So yeah, I am knitting on a high sharp interchangeable in a 3.5 millimeter. I think I was starting at a 3.75 or something, or 3.25. And because in the round I knit a bit tighter, something went wrong. So halfway through the yoke I switched, and hopefully it fits. I put it on and it fits fine. It's just now the sleeve is on, it's gonna sag a little bit more. So I hope that is okay still. Otherwise I'm just gonna crochet something inside the neckline, probably. We'll see, we'll see. So hopefully this one sees some progress in the next period of time between podcasts. That's probably the best description I can give you. And that's it for my whips. You already saw all the socks. I haven't worked on those socks in the past week. I only worked on Robert's sock in the past week and on the sleeve a little bit. That was it. Oh yeah, of course. And on my mom's slice of life. That's what I did. I was like, what did I do? Although I did knit, but yeah. I also have more acquisitions since the last time. I already had them then. But yeah, I did want to show you everything in one go. Let me get the crinkling out of the way and start with a really, really nice card and some gorgeous yarn. Let me see. And there's also a little button in here. I love my Wolhobby. I got this skein from Linda, who is Wolhobby, and she now dyes yarn, and she sent me a really, really nice skein. It is super dark. You can hardly see anything, but it's black with inverse speckles, I think they call it. It's a really great dye technique. And there's also a mini skein for contrasting heels and toes and cuffs and everything. But the main reason is the name. She sent it to me beginning of October, just before the Breidagen. I was already chatting with her. I was really looking forward to seeing her at the Breidagen. And then we got the call that Robert needed surgery, so I cancelled everything. So yeah, so she sent me this skein, and it's called Lichtpuntjes in het donker, which is basically little lights in the dark. And yeah, we have to find them where we can at the moment, because it's pretty difficult. It is her 80/20 sock set. It is superwash and mulesing free yarn, and this is where you can find Wolhobby, her website. And yeah, it's a good sturdy sock yarn, I think. It's an 80-gram skein and a 20-gram skein, so you're splitting it up yourself even. My goodness, so much work. The same with self-striping. It's just a lot of work. Then another Breidagen thing. I saw a new to me indie dyer that looked really interesting, and that had a colorway that just called my name. If I would have gone to the Breidagen, I would have bought it there and then. But I had to wait until it was in the web shop, and here it is. This is the Wee Yarn Company, and here is the card and the logo, and this is their Bonnie BFL sock, and the colorway is called Herfstbok. It's a 100% superwash BFL, because I want to try knitting a pair of socks without nylon, and since BFL is supposed to be really good for that, I want to try it out. This is dyed in Nijmegen by Ross, and yeah, I really love it. Herfstbok used to be a beer I really like to drink, so yeah, I couldn't resist on these gorgeous autumnal colors, also because autumnal colors really suit me. It might turn into a pair of socks for Robert, but hey ho, who cares? So that was that. Another yarn fair I didn't attend was in Düsseldorf in Germany. I really wanted to go there as well, but it wasn't possible because I was recovering from my surgery and nobody else was gonna drive me. So and Robert also was very immunocompromised, so not taking the chances. From Danielas Wolltopf, I got a self-striping neon yarn, and I think the colorway was called Neon OMG. Yeah, Neon OMG. It stood out from the photo massively and called my name, and I sent Daniela a message and was like, are you gonna dye that for the shop? Yes, after my market season has ended, so I had to wait a little while. But finally it came into the shop, and I am really looking forward to casting this on. It has a really gorgeous corally orangey pinkish color in it, and yeah, I'm just really in love with it. And I just love gobstopper balls. Another yarn she sells is the chameleon set, and this is 100% 100 grams fine merino socks yarn. So it's basically a regular sock yarn, but it is dyed in a way that you have two 40-gram balls and a what was it? I think a 16-gram and a 242-gram cakes or something, but you can make the same socks. So, and a little contrasting mini skein with it. Really interesting to see how that's gonna look. I have seen it knit up before and it looks amazing. So this is all from Danielas Wolltopf, and you can find them at www.danielas a little stripe thingy Wolltopf.de, but I'll put the links in the show notes as well. I didn't just get yarn. Really, not just yarn. Let me move everything aside because I'm still unloading. I also got some really cool stuff from the US this time. It's been a while. It is from the Gray Muse, and I got some enamel pins. A skein of yarn in rainbow colors. Like I said, it's not all yarn, but it is definitely yarn related. The main reason to order at the Gray Muse was this one. This is a color wheel pin and it moves. So you have your whole color theory in a pin, and I absolutely love it. She had a special at that time and I could pick a flower pin, so I took the forget-me-not pin because I love forget-me-nots, and there was also a sticker. Don't believe every thought you think. That's a good message for everyone, I think. So yeah, it came here pretty quickly from the US, and no issues at all, which is nice. It's been a while since I didn't have any issues with custom fees and everything. So, and then the last thing, I saw on Instagram someone posting about a jigsaw puzzle with a knit clip and a yarn store as the theme, and I could not resist. So here is my Falcon Deluxe knitting club puzzle. I think it's called the knitting club. Yeah, knitting club there. And yeah, it just looks so good. It looks like a real knitting club, like everyone knitting together, young and old, and a whole wall of yarn and just showing each other what they are knitting. The only thing I notice now is that everyone is on long straight needles. Nobody is using circulars. So they are a bit outdated. But hey ho. Do I see a crochet? No, I don't see crochet, just knitting. It's called Knitting Club for a reason. And since puzzles are the same as yarn, they don't travel well alone. You have to fill up the box. I also got this one. Cute cats and yarn. Aren't they just the cutest? So we are very much into jigsaw puzzles, especially in winter. And yeah, on the back there are some really nice puzzles as well. Might be something for a next shopping session, but for now we have kind of enough puzzles to get us through the winter. And that was everything I got. So I think it's enough, right? Yeah, then we have again, not really shop news. There's plenty of yarn still left. The sale is still going, 20% off of the Donegal yarns and of the Kidsilk, because I'm saying goodbye to the bases. The Christmas yarn from Zitron is still available. And yeah, I have some things I need to make photos of and put in the shop. They are like the tinier things, the stocking fillers, etc. That I've been procrastinating on for a long time. And also some yarn I found deeply hidden away. Just the one-offs, one-of-a-kind single skeins. When I dye a batch, I have one extra for reasons, and it's time for those to get into the shop too soon, but I don't know when it's gonna be, so don't hold your breath for me to put it there, because weeks just go by and we're like, what happened? So with that, we are going into the personal talk. If you are not up for it, I totally understand, and I hope to see you again next time. If you are here for it, thank you very much for listening to me ramble about our roller coaster through cancer treatments, because that's what it is. On Monday last week, I thought, we have a quiet week. Hardly any appointment, just a flu shot and a call with the person who makes sure you're not sick, on sick leave wrongly or whatever from the company. We have a special person for that who calls. Well, it wasn't the case. On Tuesday, I was at my physiotherapist and Robert got a call from the hospital. The radiotherapist wanted an appointment, and it was going to be the day after that. So on Wednesday, we had a radiotherapist appointment. It took over an hour. They also added the mask making for the radiation therapy. He's getting a mask, so he's really still and they can radiate at the right spot. And he also had a CT scan, so that was a 3-in-1. We were barely in time to get our flu shot. We thought it was an appointment from basically an hour, and it took 2.5 to 3 hours. Not what we planned. Then the next morning he had an MRI, and in the afternoon the radiotherapist already called for the results, which didn't feel nice, and yeah, it wasn't. They found another tumor in his head. It's really small, it's less than 1 millimeter. It's the first time they cited it since they started, so okay. And well, yeah, it's difficult. They're gonna treat it right away with the radiation therapy. He's gonna get 1 session of stereotactic radiation therapy, and yeah, hopefully that will kill both bastards, so the rest of the previous one and the new one, and we can just keep our fingers crossed everything will go okay. So it was a real bad roller coaster again. We are now more positive than on Thursday when we heard it, but it kind of felt like a sucker punch again. We're just trying to stay positive that it's been found quickly, it's really small, and it's gonna be treated right away. That's all we can do. And hopefully this week we might have a bit of a week off and do the things we want to do instead of having to go to the hospital all of a sudden again. Fingers crossed for that. Maybe I could actually do some work then. Maybe. So yeah, that's it. How are you doing? How quickly can a week change? I hope yours are a lot less busy, and yeah, you're just doing better than we are. I'm focusing on my knitting to keep me sane, and that's really something I can hang on to. Yeah, let me know how you are doing. and I hope to see you again soon. Bye bye.